Yes. 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 You really can write a book. And guys, that's why I want to do this video, to show you just how easy it is for you to write a book, because your story really does matter. In fact, there's this amazing lady by the name of Alicia. She lives in Denver, Colorado. She'd been wanting to write a book for probably 20 years. And she never thought she could do it because she wasn't a writer. She didn't know anybody famous. She didn't know how to start the book, didn't know how to come up with the outline, didn't know how to come up with the title. I mean, just really was stuck with all the details. And I remember, I'll never forget the day that her and I were talking on the phone, because I do these free strategy calls for people that want to learn how to write a book, okay? And basically, we do these calls to provide value. We do these calls to encourage people. We do these calls to answer questions. And I remember getting on the phone with Alicia, and she was scared out of her mind, but yet I could really hear her really deep down, her desire to really want to do this book. It's been something that's been a dream of hers, and I could just feel the war inside of her of like, I really want to do this, but I don't know how, and I'm not sure I have the money, and all these things were going through her head. And finally I said, okay, Alicia, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you exactly how easy it is to write this book. And basically, I'm going to teach you guys what I taught her, okay? So I said, well, first of all, Alicia, it starts with this proverb right here. 29 verse 18, it says, where there is no vision, the people perish. Now, friends, I'm not sure where you're at in your life right now, but there's a good chance that you've had a vision for your future. In other words, in your mind, you know exactly where you want to be and where you want to go and what you want your life to look like. But sadly, the sad reality is the absence of vision leads to absolute destruction. When we live our life with no vision, we perish. There's no chance of success. There's no chance of happiness. There's no chance of winning. And so what do we got to do? Well, the first thing I did with Alicia is I said, Alicia, you got to get a clear vision for this book. You got to see yourself holding it. You got to see yourself standing on stage, telling your story and signing your books in the back of the room, and even just like visually seeing yourself holding your book and people sending you a message and telling you thank you for what you wrote because it changed my life. And guys, listen, I'm going to tell you something like this right here, you guys having a clear vision for your book is key. Second thing you said in Proverbs 23, which I use a lot of Bible verses. It's my favorite book. And by the way, guys, this is not about religion, okay? If you do get into Maddox Publishing and I become your mentor, then you're going to find out that I do use a lot of references to God and the Bible and whatnot, but never to push religion down your throat, okay? But take a look at this right here. Proverbs chapter 23, verse 7. It says, as he thinks, so is he. You know what the simplicity of you writing your book sometimes comes down to you thinking you can do it. To you literally thinking, you know what, I can write a book. I remember one of our clients, Chris and Kyle Holden, great brothers. You'll get to know them. And I remember Kyle called me up after he finished his book. He's like, I can sell 100,000 copies of this. I know I can. In fact, I know I will. And like that kind of attitude, that kind of positive, upbeat, hey, if you think you can, you can. And what did Henry Ford say? He said, those that think they can and those that think they can't, they're both right. So the truth is, if you guys think that you can write a book, you will. As a man thinketh, so is he. If you think of yourself as a writer, you're going to start seeing yourself as a writer, okay? But watch this right here. It also says that death and life are in the power of the tongue. So I told her, I said, Alicia, first things first, we got to see a clear vision for your book, okay? We need to get you thinking about what's possible, thinking about you selling tens of thousands of copies of this book. Think about making money because you produce what you think about, and then out of your mouth is going to come death or life, okay? So when it comes to your book, speak nothing but life, okay? Speak nothing but powerful, positive affirmations about your book, okay? It's very important that as you sit down to do something like write a book, that you have a clear vision, that you believe in yourself, that you have a positive mindset, that you speak faith over your book. For example, if I was like, hey, I'm writing this new book on relationships, it's going to be awesome. Writing it's going to be fun. I'm going to sell copies across the world. People are going to share this book. It's going to go viral. That, my friends, is what you call speaking faith over your book, okay? And then I want you to also understand that the key to success with writing your book is also following our step-by-step process, because we created Maddox Publishing to set you up to win easily with finishing your book so that you don't get overwhelmed and stressed with all the details. But the key to that is to follow the step-by-step process. Another big mistake that people make when they're writing is they try to edit when they're writing, and I'll talk more about that. And then, guys, listen, the number one thing I want to tell you is, like, stay out of your head. You know, writing a book is a blast. Writing a book is supposed to be fun. This is your story. This is your message. This is literally like, this is your legacy. This is no different than you sitting down just writing your knowledge, your wisdom, your stories, your experiences. And don't worry, I'm going to show you exactly how to start and structure the book, okay? But so what are some of the reasons why people don't write their book? Well, most don't know how to get started. Don't worry about that. We're all going to get started together right now. Isn't that cool? Literally, while you're watching this video, you're going to start your book, okay? Some people don't start because they don't believe that they're a writer. In other words, I'm not a professional writer. Some don't write a book because they suck at grammar. And yes, I purposely misspelled that for you guys. Some people don't write their book because they're afraid of being vulnerable. You know, it's not always the easiest thing to let your guard down and share something personal and put it out there, okay? Some people don't write a book because of fear of failure. Some don't write a book because they get overwhelmed with the details. Some, you know, they don't have enough time because they feel like, oh my God, I've got to take 6 months off work. I've got to check into a cabin and ignore my family, and I won't be able to go into any more of my kids' soccer games for at least 6 months. Guys, that's not true. The real truth is you can write a book. You don't got to call off work. You don't got to check into a cabin. You don't have to do you don't have to change anything, but you do need to be willing to follow our step-by-step process here, okay, my friends? I'm gonna highlight that for you, all right? And then some people don't write a book because they can't find or trust the right publisher, or they don't believe they can make money with their book. And I'm going to dispel all of those for you today, because my goal by the end of this video is for you to have confidence and clarity that absolutely, without question, yes, I will write my book. Now, you guys might be sitting there thinking, well, I don't know what to write about. Well, it's always good to write your story. Money, a book about money, relationships. These are all topics that people will always need help with. Money, relationships, weight loss, survival, overcoming addictions, inspiration, faith-based, leadership, divorce, singles, healing, business, entrepreneurship, customer service, family, parenting, spirituality. So in other words, these are all the different types of and of course there's hundreds of more. But these are just the base topics that I'm kind of giving you to kind of get your mind kind of thinking, okay? So guys, write this down. You can start, structure, and write your own book in less than 90 days. That's right, 90 days without any stress or taking time off work. How does that sound, guys? To know that you can start, structure, and write your own book in less than 90 days without any stress or taking time off work. Because thank you, Amazon and my friend Jeff Bezos. You've made it possible for us to bypass the traditional, outdated, rude bullying publishing companies. And guys, that's literally why we started Maddox Publishing, because we got tired of seeing people stuck. Because anyone, the truth is, look, anyone can self-publish on Amazon and get the results that you want. So you don't need a publisher to publish a book, okay? You don't need a publisher to have success with the book. You don't need a literary agent. You don't need somebody out there that's trying to promote you, because I'm going to talk to you about marketing in a few minutes, okay? But guys, writing a book is basically, it's really as simple as, like, if you were going to write 10 chapters, okay? Slow it down in your mind, and it's like, sometimes like, oh, I got to write a book. And then all of a sudden, when you hear those words, I got to write a book, there's that sinking, heavy, like, we know it's going to be a big task. You say, oh, this is easy. I just need to write 10 letters to my ideal readers and sharing my story and my wisdom. And basically, each chapter is a letter. It's no different. It's just writing a letter, okay? So just simplify it in your own mind. And by the way, there's no rule or law that excludes anyone from writing a book. In other words, you don't have to be a college professor. You don't have to be famous. You don't have to, apply. It's not like you're going to go to jail if you write and publish your own book, okay? And by the way, some of you guys might sit there and think, yeah, but I hate typing. I hate writing. Well, there are apps that can transcribe your words, and I will tell you that the app that we use, just as a good general rule, about 15 to 20 minutes is a good size of a chapter. So really, you're only looking at 10 different sessions where you're just speaking. Of course, we show you in our course on how to write your book, how to lay it all out and structure out your book, okay? Basically, anyone that has a story or experience or wisdom can and should write a book, guys. You really basically have a moral obligation. If you've got a story, if you've got wisdom, it would be unethical for us to die with this wisdom inside of us and not leave it behind for the rest of the world, okay? So it's time. In other words, guys, it's time. So right now, though, that right there is all the yeses why you should write a book. But let me keep going with you real quick. And for you that may not know, my name is Matt Maddox, and I'm basically known across the world as the king of self-publishing. I'm the author of 10 books, which, man, that doesn't even feel like enough. I should be the author of 100 by now. My son, Caleb Maddox, is the author of 9 and became a millionaire by 16. And we together have empowered over 2,000 people to self-publish their own book, which is a lot of fun and feels good to know that. And we're the creator of Maddox Publishing and Maddox Missions. And those are just some of the books that I have read. And by the way, let's have some fun here. I'm going to give you guys my personal cell here for you that are watching this video. Text me one question that you would want answered about writing a book. And then text me what book is your favorite of these titles. What one grabs you or stands out to you the most? You can only pick one. I'm just curious. So yeah, I've written these books. And then, of course, I really got excited about writing books when my own son, Caleb, came to me and wanted to write. Well, he had a goal to write a book by the time he was 25. And I remember asking him, like, why 25? He's like, well, because, I'm young and I don't know that much. And I'm like, well, you already know enough now to write a book to help other kids. He's like, I do? And I was like, yeah, can't you give other kids the keys to success? Like, can't you share with them what you've learned and what's worked for you? And he's like, wow, I guess I could. How do I do it? And I was like, oh, Caleb, it's so easy. I was like, just pull out the notes on your iPhone and just pull up one, and this will be one chapter. And every day, just write your thoughts in there. Write your advice. Tell your story. Tell a story and share what you learned from that story. And what's cool is you're like, well, I don't have enough content. I don't know if I have that many stories. Guys, look, if you're 30 years old, you've got 30 years of stories, 30 years of experiences. Truth is, you could write 30 books. You could write a book about so many different things. And a lot of us just stay stuck in our head and don't realize how much we really do know and how much we really have experience. But Caleb wrote his first book when he was 12. Fast forward, by the time he's 19, there's some of his other books right now. And quite frankly, it changed his entire life. Now, more on that in a minute. But first, let me just break all the myths of writing a book. Because this really, in a lot of ways, it pisses me off to see how many good people out there that have not had the satisfaction and thrill of becoming an author. Because look, becoming an author is huge. Being able to say, hey, I'm an author, that is such a thrilling feeling. To me, it never gets old. I still love introducing myself to people as an author. I know they look at you with respect. They look at you with fear almost. But basically, guys, the first myth that you have to understand that is basically one of the biggest lies is you have to be a professional writer to write a book. In other words, you got to be a professor. You got to be a professor. You got to be an English teacher. You got to be somebody that's like extremely professional. And that is not true whatsoever, my friends. And then number two, that you have to be famous. You got to be Oprah. You got to be LeBron James. You got to be, the president of the United States. You got to be like the president of a company. No. Guys, remember this. You don't write the book because you're famous. You get famous by doing things like writing a book. And by the way, some of you are scared of fame and you're scared of how much will this change my life? And I don't want, media showing up at my house and I want people showing up at my kid's school. Don't worry about all that kind of stuff, okay? That's just all in your head. All right, number three, the third myth is that you've got to have some kind of extreme story. In other words, survived a plane crash, your dad, beat you, or, your wife left you for your brother, or, no, you don't always have to have the most extreme story to write a good book, okay? And one of the biggest myths is that writing a book is stressful. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. Writing a book is only stressful for those that don't go through our process. There is no such thing as having stress if you went through Maddox Publishing, because we have created Maddox Publishing so that you have a very stress-free experience with writing your book. Another myth is that you got to have some kind of publisher out there that accepts your book. Guys, you don't have to have your book done to get it published. In other words, with us, with Maddox Publishing, we don't read books first. We don't even want to read them first, because that's not how we operate. We accept and empower anybody out there as long as they fit our, criteria, which I'll share in a little bit. Then we're willing to publish anybody's book. But you don't need a publisher, that outdated publisher that you think is going to give you a check for $40,000, and then all of a sudden, you're going to be on Oprah and you're going to be in book signings and you're going to be in all these. That just doesn't happen, guys. That is outdated. The truth is, publishers rarely write anybody a check nowadays, and the whole process of dealing with the average publisher is a legit nightmare. It takes up to 2 years. They take up to 40% of your profits. They make you buy thousands of copies of your book ahead of time to go sell, and you just don't want to do it. Please don't do it. Please don't do it, okay? And then you got to be awesome at grammar. I've already talked about that, and that's not true. And then writing a book takes a long time. It takes years. In fact, everybody, when they find out that they can finish their book in 90 days, they're shocked. So the $1 million question is, well, how can I start my book now? Okay, get a pen and paper, because I'm going to give you a lot of value and over-deliver for you right now. That way, you know what you're getting into by dealing with us, that our teaching is very to the point. We're 100% focused on your results, on you getting this done easy and fast with no stress. And we want to show you right now, without you spending a dime with us, just for free. We want to set you free right now to start your book today. So that way, when it's all said and done, you'll be like, you know what, Matt Maddox was the first person to help me start my book. Well, the first thing you got to do is set a deadline, okay? That's just number one. Number one is you got to set a deadline. Very important. And most people don't know how to set a deadline, so I'll give you a sample one. This is a very powerful deadline. I will have my book done and on Amazon by Monday, November 18, 2019 by 5 p.m. Did you guys feel that? Did you hear that? Because I'll get on the phone with some people and they'll say, oh yeah, I want to get my book sometime next year. I'd love to get it, before my kids graduate. That's not a deadline. A deadline must be specific down to the second. And it must be spoken with power. It must be spoken with clarity. It must be spoken with conviction. And guys, I'm a believer in affirmations. That's why I said earlier in this video about, look, you literally, the energy of your home, your bank account, your future, your kids, your business, it's all going to be determined by the words you speak, okay? It's going to be determined by the thoughts that you think and the vision that you have, okay? And I want all of you listening right now to understand that when you set a deadline and I want all of you to right now write out your deadline, hit pause if you have to, and write out your deadline exactly the way I have it and make it 90 days from today. Whatever day you're listening to this video, make it 90 days from today. So you will say, I will have my book done and on Amazon by Monday, November 18, 2019 by 5 p.m. And wherever you're at right now, I want you to say this out loud. But I want you to say it out loud with conviction, okay? Very important that you read your affirmation every morning. You read your deadline, you look at it, and you speak it with conviction, and you speak it with passion, and you speak it with power. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get clear about what we want to write about. This is easy. All you got to do is stop and ask yourself these questions, okay? What is my story? What is your story? What is your story? What do you want to write about? So just make a list, okay? And I know what you're thinking. Well, I've got 2 or 3 books. Just write them down. And then the third question is, what do you think will impact people the most? Is it your story about your divorce? Is it your story about the abuse you went through in childhood? Is it the story about how you got out of debt? And then you got to sit down and ask yourself, well, what is my gut leading me to write about? Because, guys, you're not just going to write one book. Don't overthink it. Let's get one done now. Everybody say that with me. One done now. You might have 5 in your head, but get all 5 written down. Pick one that you feel the most confident about, okay? Look at the video. What do you feel the most confident to write about? All right? That's very important that you ask yourself these questions that'll help you get to clarity. Well, what do you want to write about, okay? What do you think will impact people? What's your gut leading you to write about? And what do you have the most confidence in? Then I'm going to take you deeper to get you to clarity, okay? And that's where you ask yourself these questions. Starting with this, who's my ideal reader? And most people are way too vague when it comes to this. They'll be like, oh, I want to write to parents. Okay, cool. Parents to kids that are toddlers, that are teenagers, that are homeschool parents, that are parents, faith-based parents. Like, get very clear about your ideal reader. And the way you do that is literally type that at the top of the paper and just make a list of your ideal reader. My ideal reader are men in their 30s that are single, that are trying to become a millionaire. That's a pretty good description of an ideal reader, okay? Number 2 is what is their pain? Like, really write that down. Write down everything you can think of that makes them cry, that's hurting their life, that's confusing them. What is their pain? What pain are they trying to get out of? And then what are their desires? You guys have heard of this, escape and arrival. Everyone is trying to escape pain or arrive at a dream, a desire, a goal. And your book needs to speak to the pain and desires of your readers. And then what questions do they have? Like, literally, you making a master list. So if I was writing a book about weight loss, I would want to write down every question I can think of about losing weight. What questions my ideal readers would have. And then what problems are they facing in their life right now? Those are good questions. And then I'll go through and I'll write down, okay, what are their fears? What stories can I share that relate to their fears and pain? And then I like to make a list of what's holding them back. What are the obstacles? Is it, okay, if I was talking to someone that's got to lose weight, what's holding them back is they don't have a gym membership. They don't know how to eat healthy. Their wife won't support them. They don't have money for healthy food. I mean, these are things that are holding them back from the result that they want. And by you knowing the language of your readers, you're going to be able to write a book that's shareable and relatable and going to cause them to be like, oh my God. You're going to become the hero to these people, okay? And what do I need them to believe? Like, what do I need someone to believe about losing weight? I need them to believe you don't need to join a gym to lose weight, okay? I need you to believe that you don't have to eat, you don't have to give up pizza to lose weight. Okay, so there's just like identifying what do I need them to, if you're writing a book about money, what do you need your readers to believe about money? And then make a master list of what is your best advice for them. And obviously when you get into Maddox Publishing, we take you through a course on how to write your book, and we cover and really go more in depth about how to get more clear about what to write about. But honestly, answering those questions, these that I've given you, will definitely give you a huge start. Now, are you guys ready to structure your book and lay out the outline real quick? Will that be helpful if I give you guys kind of a jump start right now? Okay, cool. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to get out a blank piece of paper, and you're going to draw this. You're going to draw a stick figure on the left and a stick figure on the right, okay? See, this one's not too happy. This is go back to the vision part that I was talking about, right? Where there is no vision, the people perish, okay? You as the writer must know clearly where your reader wants to be. Okay, it's kind of like a GPS. Your book is basically the GPS that takes them across the bridge. Okay, so watch this. Here's how you start your book. You draw this stick figure and this figure, and you just draw a straight line. And then you draw line number 1. And you ask the question, let's say his name is Bart. And Bart is in debt, and he wants to become wealthy. Well, his pain is that he's in debt. So I would go through all these questions, of course, and I would ask myself, what questions does he have about money? What's his pain because he's in debt? He can't buy his wife clothes. He can't take his family on vacation. What does he want? He wants money in his bank. He wants to be debt-free. He's tired of dealing with people asking him, where's my money? But what are his questions? Like, well, how do if I'm working a job 40 hours a week and, I'm not getting a raise and I'm barely making enough to pay my bills, how can I make more money? So I would do a chapter on how you can make more money, And so basically what you do is you think through their pain, and then you think through their dreams, their results they want. And there's a gap between where they are to where they want to be. The only way they can get there is step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6, step 7, step 8, step 9, step 10, and boom! See, each step becomes the title of your chapter. Okay, so if step 1... So, and again, these may not necessarily be in any certain order, but basically you would just write a list, 1 to 10, and envision that all of your readers are asking you, hey man, how do I get across this bridge? What steps do I take to get from where I'm at to where I want to be? And basically, if you can see it, if you were saying, okay, if I was writing a book about, how to have a romantic marriage. Well, there's 10 steps to getting to a romantic marriage over here. Over here's the couple without your book. Your book is the bridge, and each step is a chapter. So literally, you're going to pretend like Bart and Susie are asking you, hey, how can we have this romantic marriage with unlimited lovemaking and romance and passion? But right now, they hate each other. They're not talking. They're talking about divorce. So what would be the first step? First step is you must make an undying commitment to your marriage. Okay, well, there it is. You would write a chapter, tell a story, and then share 3 or 4 or 5 lessons in that chapter. What would be the second step that someone would have to take? Well, understand the difference between love and respect. Okay, boom, there's a chapter. What's the third thing? And then that's how you do it. That's how you start and structure your book. You make a list. You make all your list so you can get clear on your stories and content. Okay, just as a little bonus, start every single chapter with a story. Stories first, content second. And as you're sharing a story, like I might share a story about a time that I lost Caleb in New York City. And at the end of that chapter, I can talk about the top 3 lessons that I learned from that experience, okay? And then basically you're just going to set a weekly writing schedule. Weekly writing schedule. Time blocks where you commit to write. So it could be Tuesday night from 6 to 7:30, Thursday night from 7 to 8:30, Saturday from 10 to 11:30. And you stick to it, and you sit down and you work on one chapter at a time, and you start writing until you are finished. Okay? And then listen, that's how easy it is. As far as like the structure, that's how you start it. As far as structuring your book, remember, you only focus on writing one chapter at a time. One chapter is your focus. One, okay? One at a time. That way you're never going to get overwhelmed. You just focus on one chapter until you're finished with it. Okay? Because when it comes to the structure and details of the book, this is all that matters. Your title, your subtitle, that the book gets formatted so it looks professional. You set up your ISBN number so it's legit and legal. You have your book edited. You have your obviously your cover design, the printing, the marketing, and then the upsells. And I'm going to break that down for you and show you how it works, okay? But basically, you lay out the chapters, but don't get stuck because they're not in order or have a perfect name. In other words, I might say, okay, my chapter, I'm going to do chapter 1 about faith, chapter 2 about passion, chapter 3 about consistency. Well, they don't have to be in order when I write them. You don't have to write your book in order. I usually write by what I have passion for that day. So if I'm writing a book, a 10-chapter book about money, I might have a lot of passion for giving that day. So I'm going to write my giving chapter, work on my giving chapter that day. I tell some people, like, look, work on one chapter a week. You know, one chapter a day. If you did one chapter a week, all your energy and all your mind on one chapter, in 10 weeks, you'd have your book done, okay? So that's why I teach you to focus on one chapter at a time and don't think about anything else in your book until that chapter is done. If you want, just write notes on your outline, okay? And then basically you're going to finish your rough draft and then submit it to your editor. Your rough draft is basically you writing out your 10 chapters, okay? It could be 7 to 10. There's no rule, by the way. I just like to say 10. By the way, I like to keep books under 150 pages. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, okay? So I already talked to you about this, and then so basically the chapter would look like you start with a story, and then you could share, okay, here's the first lesson, second lesson, third lesson, and then end the chapter with a story. That's just a possibility. There's no rule. That's what I like to do, okay? There's no rule to that. All right, is this helping you guys, by the way? Is this giving you guys a lot of clarity on exactly how to do your book and realize it's not that hard, okay? And then basically, how does the book get done? Basically, it works like this. You're going to watch the videos in the membership site that you get lifetime access to when you get into Maddox Publishing, and that is the first course that you're going to watch is the how to write your book, okay? And basically, you're going to follow step-by-step process. We lay the whole thing out. We give you a checklist to follow. You literally just follow step by step. It's that easy, okay? Then you're going to pick out your title and your subtitle. All right, let me go ahead and just give you an example real fast for fun. Why don't I do that live on this video? Why don't I kind of help create a perfect title and subtitle? Let's see if I can do it fast. It's not going to be perfect, but it'll kind of give you a feeling of what they should look like. So if I was writing a book about, let's say, money, right? Well, I would do a title called Broke, and this just came off the top of my head. That would be my title. You want your title usually to be one word, and you want that word to be something that's kind of capturing, like broke. Everybody's going to look at that. And then I could do like the top or 10 easy ways to make money so that you are never broke again. So you could call it broke, you could call it never again. So that's kind of like a title and a subtitle. The title can be nothing. You can title the book Duct Tape if you want to. Because what the real capture is the subtitle. Okay? The title is what gets attention. The subtitle is what you want to give, like 10 shocking secrets to losing weight. 10 shocking secrets to a divorce-free marriage. Okay? See that? That's a good title, subtitle. You like that? That's how it works. Okay, then you set your writing schedule. And like I said, that's basically, I recommend at least 2 hours a week. If you can't give 2 hours a week, you don't need to be writing a book, okay? So at least 2 hours a week to work on your book. If I can get anybody to give me 2 hours a week to work on their book, I'm pretty confident in 90 days we can get the first draft done. Then you submit your rough draft for editing, and then while it's in editing, which is usually about a 2 to 4 weeks, that's about a 6 to 8 week turnaround, give or take, is about what it takes, okay? And that's okay, because while it's in editing, you're going to be a student of marketing, and you're going to be in our membership site studying our how to promote and sell your book even if nobody knows you, okay? Then you're going to make any final change, which, by the way, you're going to love this. No, listen, guys, you don't have to have an email list. You don't have to be famous. You don't have to, literally, you could be a nobody from the middle of nowhere, and you can still make a lot of money with a book, okay? Remember that. You don't have to have a big you don't even have to be on social media to sell a lot of copies of your book. Okay, then while it's in editing, you're going to get it back. You're going to make any final changes before it goes to formatting. You go through it one more time, make any final changes, and usually it's about a 2-week turnaround for her to make any of the final changes and send it off to formatting. And we'll make sure your book is formatted. Okay, so that way it looks good. The table of contents, the copyright, all that stuff is laid out. That way it really looks like a book, okay? And then, of course, setting up your ISBN number so that your book is legally recognized. This is very important. And then getting your book up on Amazon, and basically we show you an easy step-by-step video. Anybody can do it. It takes less than 10 minutes, okay? And then your book will be on Amazon. So you guys are probably sitting there thinking, well, okay, this sounds exciting. This has been very informative. This has been very helpful. Maybe you didn't realize writing a book was this easy, but you're probably still wondering, like, how do I make money with my book, and what do you get with Maddox Publishing? Well, let me first of all show you how it works and how you can make money with your book, and then I'll show you what we can do for you, okay? So basically, you're going to upload your book to something that they call KDP, or Ingram Spark is one we like. KDP is what Amazon owns, and that's what we usually use, okay? And then there's Ingram Spark, which is a good one. But that's where you're going to upload your book. Then you're going to order a proof so you can see it before you sell it to the public, obviously. But what's cool is you'll get to create an account and log on anytime you want to order copies of your book. And you'll be able to upload your book to KDP or Ingram Spark when you're done, okay? Then what's cool is you can order your book. Your book only costs you $2.15 per book. So in other words, let me talk a little business for you, okay? So if you bought 100 copies of your book at $2.15 each, you're looking at $215 per plus shipping. Let's just round it up to $300. Okay, let's just do that now. Let's just put $300 for you. Okay? Then you sell all 100 at $15 each, which is a good price point. And you're going to profit $1,200 from that batch of 100 books. So now 100 books, every time you sold 100 books, you're getting $1,200 if you sold them, say, at local businesses, door to door. You sold them in your community. You sold them at an event that you were speaking at, a book signing or whatever. You can also, that's if you sell your books in person or in an event, or you want to give away your books. I'm basically showing you anytime you want to order your book, all you got to do is log on and order. There's no rule. You don't have to keep any overhead. You don't have to keep any copies of your book. But if you wanted to order copies of your book, your cost is only $2.15. You sell them for $15 and you profit about, let's just round it and let's just say it's $10 per book, okay? See, look at this, all right? I want to show you something. Then you can sell your book through Amazon, and they will deposit into your account every single month. Look at Caleb, okay? My son wrote this book called Keys to Success for Kids. Watch this. And he offered it as a free book on Facebook. He ran an ad, said, hey, free book, Keys to Success for Kids. Parents clicked on this ad, and here comes a video for Caleb offering parents to get relatable, entertaining, powerful personal growth videos for kids for just $7 a month. So basically, he took his book, he set up a Facebook ad. His first upsell was $7. His second was $17. Third was $97. And fourth is $197. And this book, this little book, has got him over 20,000 customers in 6 months and making him $170,000 a month right now. Don't tell me you can't make money with a book. But now he's been able to use all these books as lead magnets. And that's the power of a book. A book is not just a book. A book is a tool. A book is a resource. A book is a business card. A book is a lead magnet. And that's exactly what you do. You're going to, and some of you that are speakers, your coaches or whatnot, you're going to want to create a value ladder based on this question. How can I provide value to people and create stuff that solves problems and heals pain for them? That's really the only question you want to be asking. So for me, it's like, how will I serve my readers? Okay, obviously I'm giving them a book. Oh, then I created a course. Then I created group coaching. Then I have this membership-based training, one-on-one coaching, and then I host a retreat or a mastermind. So basically, the way that I serve and provide value to people that solves problems is a book, a course, group coaching, membership-based training, one-on-one coaching, retreats or masterminds. So it's basically me giving more and more value. And obviously, the more value you give, the more you can be paid in return for that value. So I created a free Facebook group called Parents for Success. And basically now, at that time, I had 5,000 members. Now it's got almost 9,000. I wrote these 2 books, gave them away for free, created this course called Breakthrough Parenting. Here's some of the stuff that I taught. And parents got, not only did they get a book, they got access to this course where they heard me teach how to teach your kids about healthy money beliefs, confidence, personal growth, all that stuff. And then, of course, we hosted a retreat on the beach, and we ended up making $150,000 just from our family retreats. What was amazing is all that started from a free group and a free book that led me to making money on this course, this retreat. And then, of course, I got asked to speak on one of the biggest stages in the world right there on February 20th, How to Raise an Entrepreneur, right? So basically, look, my friends, yes, you can make money with the book. You're probably sitting there thinking, well, who else have you guys published? Well, we published Shelly Hart's book. She wrote an amazing book called Unbreakable Faith, Finding Strength Through Sickness and Stress. Her husband got deathly ill. They had to live in hotel rooms. They lost everything financially. And it's just a book about how to have unbreakable faith. This one right here, Tosha. I mean, man, the impact she's making across the world now because she faced her fears and wrote this book about beating anxiety, Lies My Mind Tells Me. And it's just a powerful book about overcoming anxiety. And then look at Richard. I mean, ever since he wrote his book, his speaking and coaching business has exploded. He just wrote this simple book called Taming Turnover. Same thing, Austin Rutherford, powerful young entrepreneur, wrote this book from valet to millionaire. He's a multi-millionaire speaker now and just doing amazing works. And then Wendy Lloyd. Wendy was a counselor. She came to us, wanted to start her own coaching business. Now, within 60 days, she finished this book, The Mindset Makeover. She's hosted 3 of her own events, done 9 speaking gigs, and now has her full-time coaching business. And then you got to look at the rabbi, our buddy, Island, came to us, wrote this powerful book about, and then God created recovery. See, as you can tell, well, look, we've been involved in thousands of different books, and the key word is they're all different. Look at Raj. Raj had been wanting to write this book for 7 years, didn't believe it was possible, came to us in less than 60 days. He finished his book, Finding Home, and it's transformed his whole entire life, able to start a coaching business with it. And look, you don't got to be a professor, you don't got to be in your 90s or retired or be a CEO of a company. This 8-year-old boy, Julian, wrote this book called How to Become an Elementary Entrepreneur, and as a result, he's been speaking all over California, getting in schools. He was on the Ryan Seacrest show. You've got Mabry. Oh my God, look over here on the left. I mean, she wrote this book called Back to Bliss. That's her last name, Bliss. And her story about how she almost killed herself and the drugs and the addictions. And then Rhonda over here on the right, the tragedies, the deaths, the grief, rising up from broken to beautiful. I mean, look at the courage of all these people. Here we got another family, Hope, writing to other families on how to have strong and healthy kids, because they've been on American Ninja Warrior. And then you got Casey Adams. Look, he wrote Rise of the Young, and his whole brand and business exploded as a result of his book and learning how to brand and really market himself. So the question is, who does Maddox Publishing work for? Well, it's basically for entrepreneurs, school teachers, speakers, coaches, pastors, parents, grandparents, network marketers, real estate agents, those that have been in the military, family in the military, business owners, attorneys, basically any service provider, or how about this? Anyone that desires to write a book, all right? And then let me show you guys real quick what you're going to get with Maddox Publishing, because you're probably dying dying to know. And then if you want to stick around, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll answer some frequently asked questions that we usually get. And then I'll walk you through kind of what we can do for you and answer these questions, okay? But basically, guys, look at the results of what can happen when you write a book. Let me just show you. Look, you're going to increase your credibility. Aren't you guys tired of getting overlooked? Aren't you tired of not getting the respect you deserve? Build your legacy. No, there's no greater feeling than knowing that when you die, you're leaving something behind of worth and value besides just your neckties and your wallet and your golf clubs. Like, leaving a book is leaving your story on this earth forever. It's leaving your wisdom. Yeah, you make money when you write a book. You really can make money with a book. And should. Writing a book helps you share your story, helps people. You can build a business with a book. Many of our authors have come in and wanting to be entrepreneurs and build a business, and we have the best business training in the world of how to go from book to business, getting more speaking gigs, building a brand. And if for no other reason, man, you guys know that when you write a book, you're going to make your grandmother really proud, okay? So, what do you get when you get into Maddox Publishing? I want to go over that with you guys because there's probably a good chance you're ready to make a decision. And I have a very, 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 very easy decision for you to make, because here's how we operate. We operate, basically, that's my son and I. I know I look like his brother, but that's Caleb. He's growing up fast, isn't he? We're on a mission. You can probably see it in this picture. We're on a mission to make sure you don't die with your story inside of you. We're on a mission to save you from waiting another 10 years. We're on a mission from you having to go with other bully, outdated publishing experiences. We want you. We believe in you. We know what we can do for you. And so here's what you get when you get into Maddox Publishing, okay? I'm going to let you know up front before we even begin that this is not for everybody, okay? In fact, we don't want everybody in Maddox Publishing. We're not after your money, my friends. I want to make something very clear that we've had a lot of students come into Maddox Publishing. They had money. They love the idea of doing a book, but they weren't committed and they weren't fun to work with. And we only like people that are committed. We only like people that are ready now. And if you're not ready now after all that I've already shared with you, then writing a book may not be for you. But if you're listening to this and you're like, okay, you know what? I can do this. I can make money with this, So first thing, let me just share with you everything we're going to give you, okay? We're going to give you, literally lifetime access. Most people give you access to their membership training and then block you out after you're done with the course or after the year. We don't do that. And obviously the whole value of what you're getting in there, and you'll see, is $3,997 and beyond, okay? And so the first course you're going to go through is our how to structure and write your book course so that you never feel stuck. And the second course is our how to promote, market, and sell your book even if no one knows you. But what's going to fire you guys up and excite you is all the bonus courses that are in the membership site. For example, some of you may already have a coaching business or you want to start your own coaching or consulting business. Well, we have a training in there on how to do that. We have a training in there on how to become a sought-after speaker. We got 186 speaking requests last year, and our speaking fee is $25,000. We teach you how to do that, okay? We teach you how to create and sell a high-ticket offer. What a high-ticket offer is something that's worth over $1,000 to $5,000 that will change your life. Literally change your life forever. And then how to do social media without annoying people. I mean, everybody out there. Look, there's no way to get through the 21st century without realizing we have to know social media. And then, guys, this is what shocked everybody, and I don't want you just to kind of miss this because it's at the bottom and it's on a bonus. And that's our Facebook ad mastery for authors. That alone we could sell for $5,000 because this right here came from Ryan O'Donnell. Ryan is Caleb Maddox's business partner who took Dean Graciosi's book that was only doing, I don't know, anywhere from 20 to 40 copies sold a month. And when Ryan set up the Facebook ad for that book and funnel, they did 500,000 copies sold, and you're getting access to that training for free. I know it's shocking, isn't it? And then, of course, we're going to edit your book so that your book flows and your voice is kept alive and grammatically. I'm going to talk to you about editing for a minute. We pay our editors a lot of money, okay? And that is because, yes, you can go find a cheaper editor. I'm sure your Aunt Susie's good at grammar. Guys, it's not just about being grammatically correct when a book is being edited. That's important. But there's two other things. One is that your book flows, and two, that your voice is kept alive in the book. And too many editors drowned out the author's voices, and we just can't let that happen to you. Okay, and that's why you do want to go with us, because we do have the best editors, and that comes with your package. We format your book so that it looks professional. Okay? We design your book covers so that it commands attention of the buyers and you can be proud of how it looks. And literally, I'm going to tell you right now, the quality of book cover you're going to get with us, you couldn't touch for under $1,000. Anywhere from $800 to $1,000, the type of book cover you're going to get. And what's cool is, unlike most publishers, they make you choose from a certain cover and change the wording because that saves them money. We don't do that. You get to design your own cover. Then we're going to give you a free book funnel. That I already told you that Ryan, see, you guys are probably thinking, oh my God, because listen, this is basically like getting a free website. This is like getting something that converts for your book. A landing page where you'll be able to just put your book in and the wording that you want, and people will be able to buy it right there. This is going to save you literally, if you went and tried to build this on your own, it could take 6 months if you don't know what you're doing. If you tried to outsource it and hire someone, you're looking at a minimum of $25,000 to get the quality of funnel that we're going to be giving to you. Then we host a Marketing Money Mastery weekend retreat for our authors only. That's where we spend the entire weekend, Friday through Sunday, training, teaching, coaching, and connecting with just our authors. It's a weekend that we give up. We don't have too many of them. Think about it. We get paid $25,000 just for 1 hour speech, and we're giving up a weekend for you guys to spend an entire weekend for free as a bonus to hang out with us and grow. And then when we created Maddox Publishing, we wanted it to be to where you never get stuck. You never have questions. You never feel alone. And so we created these group coaching sessions. In fact, we got one tonight as I'm speaking. Tonight at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, Caleb and I and our team are going to be on a Zoom call with our authors and basically just hanging out, answering questions, training, teaching. So basically 12 times a year you get to hang out with Caleb and I once a month. And that way you always have support and accountability. I just don't want you guys to be without support. And that's the risk of doing it on your own, is you're alone. You don't have expert teaching and training. You don't have accountability. And with us, at least you have support and accountability, okay? And then what's cool is we hired a personal concierge that you can call. Because I'll be honest with you, when it comes to writing a book, this isn't something you just want to go back and forth on an email. So we give you an actual human that you can call for customer service, not just shoot an email or sign on to fill out some kind of ticket or something like that, okay? And then, last but not least, there's more. We give you exclusive access to our private community of authors for connections, friendship, and support. And this may not seem much to you right now, okay? But understand this one word, community. Guys, when new levels, new devils, okay? Sometimes you outgrow your environment. You outgrow your inner circle. And when you become an author, a speaker, a coach, a world changer, you start a business, you level up. You're going to find that unfortunately, your inner circle, people, family, friends, church, they don't always grow with you. Passion, when you live a life of passion, it can be lonely sometimes. But what's cool is we've created a very private, exclusive community of just authors. In other words, it's a place where you can go where everybody's alike, where you're not going to feel isolated, you're not going to feel dumb because you got such a big vision or you're an author. You're going to have support, friendships, connections, business opportunities for sharing business with each other, and lifelong friendships. Heck, we've even had authors get married. And for no other reason for you to get into Maddox Publishing, we're going to surround you with the best people. And that's why we're very, very, very careful about who we let into Maddox Publishing. You're going to get literally full control, rights, and all profits. This is what shocks people. Like, the last thing we do for you is you keep all the money. We don't take a dime. In other words, 100%. Most publishing companies take up to 40%. We give it all to you. Guys, I want to remind you something. When God wanted to get his message to the world, he used a book, okay? Think about it. Your book is your legacy. I wrote this book for my son. I'll never forget it. On his 16th birthday, I surprised him. This was a legacy for me. This is something that, he'll be able to cherish forever. I shared all my wisdom about the top 10 areas of our life, my best advice for Caleb. And it was a book. And by the way, guys, your book is a tool. I want you to see this. Your book is a tool that you can use for the rest of your life to make money. For example, okay, at first, this was just a book for Wendy. But now it's a tool that she uses that's made her so much more money and helped her to be able to travel across the world, okay? So unlike other things, when you buy a tractor, a car, when you buy a new couch, when you buy a new microwave or a new vacuum cleaner, they serve purposes, but they're not tools that can make us money. A book is something that can make you money for the rest of your life. So the $1 million question is this. The $1 million question is, are you a dream client? Because there's 7 things we look for, and I have to be very honest with you because I want you to have integrity here, okay? We only work with decisive people, meaning if you're decisive about your book and you're decisive about getting the job done and you're ready, this is no more I'm thinking about it and I'm feeling it out. No, I want a decision yes, I'm going to write. Because guys, sometimes making the decision is literally the start of your breakthrough. A lot of you are not having more breakthroughs in your life because you have so much indecision, and there's no power when there's indecision. So make a decision. Make a hell yes or a hell no. And then we're looking for people that are on a big mission. Meaning, if you want to change the world, then you will fit in at Maddox Publishing. If you're selfish and greedy, we don't want you. We hope you find other people. We don't want to publish your book if that's how you are. We only work with people that are positive. And so if you've got a negative mindset and you're a gossiper and you're just a moody, negative type person, we're not going to take your money at all. Even if you wanted to pay double for what we offer, we wouldn't let you in, okay? And this is what you're going to love. See, this is the community of what you're getting into. You're hanging out with people that are decisive, that are on a huge mission, that are positive, that are coachable. People that are coachable, you know what that means? That means they don't have ego, they don't have arrogance, they don't have pride, they don't have stubbornness. They're coachable, meaning they listen, they ask questions, they want to learn. Don't you want to hang out with those kind of people? Heck yeah. People that have a whatever it takes mentality, because you're going to have a whatever it takes mentality to have success, okay? And then, of course, work ethic. We like working with people that have good, strong work ethics and that most importantly have integrity. So if this is you, if you truly believe you're decisive and you're ready to make a decision, I've got a huge mission, I got a positive mindset, I'm coachable, I'm willing to do what it takes, I've got a good work ethic, I'll do the writing, I've got integrity, I'll follow through, then if that's you, then we're a heck yes. Meaning, all you got to do is click the link to book a call now to get your book done with Maddox Publishing. And look, all that we do for you, I know you're probably thinking that it was going to be at least $20,000 to $30,000 to get everything that we're giving you lifetime access to the Maddox Publishing Center, where you're going to get to go through our course on how to write your book. Look, guys, remember, the reason why this process saves you time. When you can save time, you're saving money. It saves you money. It saves you stress. This process makes this whole idea of writing a book seem so possible. It's step by step. It's doable. It's a done-for-you service, so you don't have to worry about it. And then not to mention, most publishing companies leave you out to dry. Yeah, you get your book done, but you don't know how to sell it. We show you exactly how. Anybody can promote, market, and sell your book, even if nobody knows who you are. Don't forget about all the bonus material you're getting. You're getting courses on how to become a big money coach or consultant, how to become a sought-after speaker, how to create and sell a high-ticket offer, how to do social media without annoying people. That's huge. And our Facebook ad for masters. Remember, that alone is worth this whole thing. And then, of course, we do provide editing for you. We do format your book. We design the book cover so that it commands attention. We give you a free book funnel, guys. Come on, this is a no-brainer. You get 2 free tickets to our author marketing and money mastery weekend. You get 12 group coaching sessions for support, growth, accountability, and training. You get a personal concierge for calls, for support and customer service. You get exclusive access to our private authors community. And then, guys, don't forget, you get to keep all the money. All the money's yours. You get to keep the money. It's your money. It's your book. You get full control, full rights, and all the profits. All you got to do is click the button below, and I'll personally, myself or Caleb, one of our highly, highly caring and loving, authentic coaches, will jump on a call just in case you have questions. Maybe we didn't cover everything in here. And by the way, speaking of questions, I am going to quickly take you through frequently asked questions, because this might determine whether or not some of you guys move forward with the investment, okay? Number one is, how long does it take from start to finish your book? If you follow our process, less than 90 days, okay? How long will it take for your book to be edited? About 6 to 8 weeks. And we don't allow any more than 150 pages per book. Okay, 150 pages of editing is what we provide. Anything more, you've got to pay for, okay? And then what's your best advice? Here's my best advice. My best advice for people that are writing a book is don't edit when you write. Set writing time blocks and stick to it. Focus on one chapter at a time until you're done with it. And literally have fun. Don't overthink it. Let the editor edit and let us handle all the details for you. And you just stay in flow. Okay, what if you don't know what to write about? Like you're torn between your divorce, how to get out of debt, or how you had success in your business. Well, when I'm torn about what to write about, I always ask what's going to make the biggest impact and what's going to make the most money now. And can I use this book now for my business? So if I had a business, I would definitely write my book around either my brand or my business or something like that, okay? And like I said, guys, you can write more than one book, so don't overthink it. One is better than none, okay? So let's get one done. What if you haven't even started your book yet? That's okay. Actually, we prefer if you have started, it's okay. We prefer you hadn't, because I'd rather you go through the entire how to write a book course before we even start, because it's going to save you some time. It's going to help you really get clear. And then, no big deal, okay? Well, what if nobody knows who I am? Will they read my book? Absolutely they will. People are readers, guys. Let me tell you, when it comes to humans, they don't care about your name when it comes to books. If the title and the subtitle captures their attention, they're going to buy your book. And if their friend tells you, hey, you got to get this book, their friend don't care what your last name is. If it gets results for people, they will read the book. Do you got to have a big email list to sell your book? Not at all, but we will show you how to grow your own email list, though, okay? Because you can actually use your book to grow an email list, which you should. Are there any additional expenses? No. The only additional expenses will be the money you spend to order copies of your book or ClickFunnels. If you want to use ClickFunnels to host your landing page, your funnel, your website, whatever you want to call it, it's like $97 a month. But it's worth it. You don't have to have it, but that would be the only additional expense. There's no other hidden fees or cost. I already went through with you. It costs you $2.15 to order your book. But what if I don't know how to market my book? Hey, no worries. That's why you're getting into Maddox Publishing, because we're going to show you how to market and sell your book, okay? We take that very, 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 very personal. Do we take a percentage of the sales? No, we do not. What if writing my story is painful and makes me vulnerable? I get it. Trust me, a couple of my books, there were stories I didn't want to share, stories about family members I was afraid I would hurt. In those situations, I just changed the name. I had some upfront conversations with some people before the book came out. But most importantly, I had to come to Jesus with myself, and I said, being vulnerable is the fastest way to impact people. So even though it's scary for me, it causes people to respect me more. And remember, writing your story is painful. You will cry, but remember, pain equals healing. Because as you write your story, you are going to heal, okay? And then what if I don't have enough to talk about in my book? Well, that doesn't matter either, because there's no rule to the length of a book. In fact, people actually prefer for your book to be shorter nowadays. What if you don't know the title of your book or the chapter titles? No worries. We help you with all that, okay? And then you can go into the Facebook group and say, hey, I'm thinking about these 3 titles. What do you guys think? And you can get feedback from your community. What if you already wrote a book? Can you help us clean it up and sell it? Yes, we can. Absolutely, we can. We can clean it up, put our name on it, put our stuff on it, and help you sell it or show you how to sell it. And then what if my book doesn't sell and nobody reads it? Okay, what if the worst case scenario happens and nobody buys your book, nobody reads it? Okay, guys, big deal. What if? Okay, I know it's a $10,000 investment. And I know for some of you that might seem like, oh my God, I got to recoup that investment. Well, you will, because you only got to sell 750 copies of your book and you've paid it off. And guys, I mean, that's basically, if you just took 1 year, I mean, think of all the things that you have spent that were expenses. This is an investment, not an expense. Okay, this is not a debt. This is an investment. So if you sold 5 copies a week just for the next year, okay, excuse me, not 5. If you just sold 20 copies of your book a week for a year, you're going to sell 1,000 copies, okay? 1,040 copies times $15 is $15,000, and that's only selling 20 copies a week. That would only be 3 a day. Guys, anybody can sell 3 copies of their book a day. So yes, you can make your money back easy and fast, but worst case, you don't. You still got a book. You still got a book. And by the way, guys, you can't always, being an author, having your own book, sometimes there's not enough money attached to explain the value of you being an author and having your own book. Yes, we will teach you how to market and sell, and yes, we will teach you how to make money. But worst case, you don't. You still have a book. You still have a huge dream accomplished. I mean, come on. For less than $10,000, you've achieved something that most people will never achieve in a lifetime. You've spent, I guarantee if you made a list of the top 10 things you've spent $10,000 on, I guarantee you that 10 out of 10 of them doesn't equal the value and the potential of your own book. So yes, my friends, you can write a book. We got your back. All you got to do is, if you are 100% ready, but you might have questions or you're just ready to get set up, click the link below to book your free call, so at least I can answer any questions that you have and get you going and getting you some results with your book. Don't hesitate to book a call because you think, well, that might be a dumb question. I honestly, truly, authentically have never seen a dumb question, and I've never laughed at somebody. I love getting on the phone with you. You're going to hang up motivated and inspired and confident that you can write and self-publish your own book. God bless, my friends. Click the link below and we'll book a call now, so that way we can get you set up and get you going to get your book done and up on Amazon in the next 90 days or less. Hurry and click the link, though. By the way, guys, I got to warn you, because we don't have too many of these time slots available. They do fill up fast. This is going out to 100,000 people, and we only have time in our schedule for 7 calls a day. And we don't take on everybody, so if this is something you're committed to and you want to do, make sure you act right now. God bless you, my friends.